Hello and welcome to the 2020 Discraft Green Mountain Championship here in Jefferson, Vermont. We are at stop 8 of 10 on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and we have Big Barry commentary bringing you all the round one front nine action here on Brewster Ridge Course. Myself, Jeremy Koling, joined by Paul Ulibarri.
That is right, and we have an awesome card for you guys again on one of the tour's favorite courses as well.
Yeah, not only is this one of the tour's favorite courses, it's one of the favorite complexes, and we have the course designer, the privilege of having the 2013 U.S. champion Steve Brinster on our card, New England legend, and Chris Clemons, a lefty. We're going to get a different perspective on some of the hyzer shots today. Great player.
Coming off a second place victory victory.
Well, some people that is victory.
Yeah.
And we've got Austin Hannum as well, a great forehand backhand combo. Let's get straight to the action. Hole 1, par 3, 320 feet. One of the easier holes in the course. It's as straight as an arrow, slightly off to the right side, but you don't really need to throw an overstable sidearm to get over there. You just want to throw something dead straight, a backhand that drifts very little, and you want to start your tournament off with a birdie.
That is right. With a crooked arrow shot.
I think you could shoot a crossbow to the pin from the tee pad. Yeah or no?
No.
No? Okay. Well, you have to have like one of those little bullets that curves like they did in that movie that one time.
Simon has a bullet that curves.
That's why you're here, dude.
Oh, boy.
And that's curving too much too soon. That's going in the woods. He needs a good kick.
Oh, great kick.
And he gets one.
And you are right about this hole. If you play it straight, it becomes way easier, but everybody likes to kind of do that ace run with a little soft anhyzer, and it's really easy to pull it to the right. That's where you'll see most of your mistakes.
It seems to tempt the player into trying to curve a shot, and it really doesn't need it. If you throw it dead straight 320 feet, you're 15 feet from the pin. Brinster not going to throw many forehands today if things go well for him. He is a backhand, almost exclusive player.
Yeah, and to your point, he threw that one directly straight, like you said, 20 feet.
An old school style player Brinster is, and congratulations to him for just being elected into the New York Disc Golf Hall of Fame.
Yeah, an incredible accomplishment.
Beat it.
Oh, that's better than beating it.
Yeah, it's a great kick. Pushes up to the edge of the circle.
Chris coming off of a nice victory there in Pennsylvania.
Nice second place victory.
This one he actually took down, so congratulations to him. He's going to have a lot of confidence coming into this tournament.
And Austin Ham with that low sidearm. This grass on the course, there's not much of it because we're going to be mostly in the woods all day today, but the grass that you do see doesn't seem to skip much. It's very thick. So I'm just outside circle 2. Let's call it 69 feet and just drifting to the right side of the chains.
That was really close.
Yeah.
That was good pace, good height. Little short left.
That's just a bit low.
This is a course that demands you to make those 30 to 33 footers. It's really hard to park these holes on this course.
It really does, man. It seems to come into play. Brinster with a nice low ceiling putt. He hammers that in for the birdie.
The only one to throw it directly straight.
Yeah, but you're right about that. It really seems to draw a lot of 35 to just a lot of circle 2 putts. Just somewhere in that range. You just seem to have more of those here than other courses. Just the way that the fairway's set up. You know that if you're not putting and you're parked for birdie, you're throwing the disc at an elite level. So on the 4th easiest hole of the course, our card goes 1 under. And moving up to hole 2, par 4, 550 feet. narrow uphill fairway with OB down the right side the whole way, so that you can see those stakes in the rock wall. Players want to land right about here, and if they can, drift off a bit to the right to open up the widest approach angle to the pin on your second shot. Just continues to go uphill the whole way, and these tiny trees really seem to give the player a brutal kick if they don't keep the disc true down the middle.
Yeah, and Steve being the course designer, this is actually kind of interesting. He's going mid-range off the tee, and in practice I was thinking that was the play, because the further you push those trees on the left with a good shot, the further you're going to have that it pinches off that gap to get all the way to the pin. So I think that's one of the things that Steve wanted to bring in with this hole. Let's see if these guys follow suit with that mid-range, or if they... Looks like this might be a fairway driver. It's such a specific straight shot. You have to throw it. This is as straight as an arrow.
And that is so good. Right up to that short tee in the fairway. That leaves a really nice angle and a good distance for Simon's second shot. Clemons wants to get that a bit higher as a lefty. He gets the opportunity to flex one and then drift off to the right side when thrown perfectly, but that's gonna be a pretty tricky second shot. Austin needs a little bit of an anti-skip, and he gets it. He gets the counter, and that's in the money zone.
Yeah, and I think if he were to have thrown something a bit faster, I don't think he gets that good kick. So maybe a nice little read there from Austin.
Yeah, and a good reward for
absolutely
good decision. And if Brinster's playing his game plan, what a treat we have today to be able to watch him, as he's a little bit off there, but we get to see the course played the way that, you know, the designer thought of it. You know, how often do we get to see that on the top level?
Dude, go.
Simon loves it.
Nice
And
shot.
what's not to love is Clemons has
That was
piped
sick.
it.
I got a good spot over here on the right. Usually I'm too far left.
And there is that one little narrow passageway on the right side, really close to the wall. Too close to try to aim for comfort, that you do get that backdoor gap.
And this is a really tough backhand shot from right there. Chris being left-handed, it shapes a little better for him, but Simon has to throw something that's very specific, and as we can see, oh, that's too high. That needs a little love.
Oh, and a good kick back off the wall, back inbounds.
But even the shot that Brinster was throwing there, super tough.
Yeah, it's like an inside-out flip-up. And look at this line from... Wow, that was a great shot from in the thickest part of the forest.
Yeah, genius.
This looks a bit early, but oh, maybe not. Austin's going to be parked for the par. Simon will have this outside the circle look for his birdie. And another great run on the first two holes, just barely off. And that would have been a great scramble for Steve. Being out of position on this hole, especially after your second, just spells disaster. There's really so few ways to get creative when you get in that left side woods. There's just not any gap in there.
Right, and then, you know, as we mentioned on hole one, he put himself to just outside the circle, and on this course, you got to be making those just outside the circle to just inside the circle putts. Otherwise, it's going to be a long round.
And on to hole 3, par 3, 285 feet, blind tee shot. At the right time of day, you can see the flag there, but at this time of day, the way the sun is coming in, you can't really even see that flag. So this shot is completely blind. You just can see that tree just to the right of it. That's kind of what you're aiming for. Easiest hole in the course, 2.42 average. This is a deuce or die. Basically, you have two of those on this complex between here and Fox Run. You have hole 3 over here and hole 6 at Fox Run.
Well, a tall guy like yourself might be able to see the flag stick sometimes, but somebody like me has never seen it.
Yeah, it's there.
Chris just threw that like he saw the flag stick, though.
Yeah.
What a great shot.
Great trust. Good forehand. Simon's not wearing that elbow brace anymore. I'm wondering, or the elbow sleeve. Maybe you just called it arm sleeve. I don't know. I wonder if his forehand is back in operation, or if he's just ditched that completely.
Judging by his second shot on hole 2,
Yeah,
I'm guessing not.
but doesn't need it when he throws shots like that. That was a nice drive, as Austin's is pulled a bit right, but even with that shot, he's still inside the circle and looking at the birdie.
Right at that 30-foot range.
Yep. And we've given Steve a lot of accolades so far, but I really have to say I put his name in the hat for top 10 players in the last 20 years of competition.
Absolutely. I mean, he's coming in with 102 victories.
Yeah. And that's coming up just a bit short.
Right at our spot.
Yep. And we get to see the famous bus driver putting style that Steve Brinster has made so famous. Don't roll. That happens. That is the danger of this hole. That elevated pin, and he misses, and look at that.
And now he has to switch styles. This is not a good position. He's going to have to spin this one in.
That
Brutal.
is brutal.
Austin connects. That's a good putt. That puts him to 1 under par.
That is one of only 2 bogeys on the round for Steve Brinster. Just a really, like, that is as much of a 2-stroke swing as you're ever going to see. It's an instant.
That's quite surprising. Being on a high rise, I feel like you could miss a birdie putt and do exactly what he just
Sure.
did, roll pretty far, and then have a tough comebacker. But, I mean, it is playing pretty easy. It's one of those stock shots off the tee, and it's one that Brinster needs to be making for sure.
As
I mean, he got a spit out. I mean, let's be honest. That was in there.
That was
pretty
a
good.
tough break there. Hole 4, par 4, 575 feet. Uphill again, just like hole 2. This drive you want to break a little bit farther right than on hole 2, but it's a very similar hole in that you have a lot of tiny trees, uphill the whole way, narrow fairway to a very small green. But on the approach up here, the rock wall really comes into play. You really need to swing a backhand mid-range or a putter with a great drive. You get into position to throw that slower disc to the green and give yourself a good advantage.
Yeah, I feel like the shape is similar to hole 2. The second shot, what I really like about this design is it makes you throw the opposite as hole 2 into the green. So instead of throwing that flex sidearm or that late turning backhand, you have to do the exact opposite and flex a backhand in or late turning sidearm. So they complement each other really well.
Yeah, that's a great point. It really does complement hole 2 in such a great way that a lot of times you see a hole and you think, man, if this hole were just mirrored, it would suit my game so well. Well, you go from hole 2 to hole 4, and essentially that's what you get.
Simon catches those guardian trees. It looked like he pulled it a bit.
Yeah, I don't see many backhands go down the right side fairway. I wonder if that was a really bad shank or if that was something that he's lining up that you don't see many players do.
That was a lovely kick there from Austin. Which is surprising. I feel like somebody with a power sidearm would normally just go through that gap, but we've been seeing that over the past couple tournaments with Austin really leaning toward that buzz turnover.
And I could be mistaken, but I don't know if this is a DX rock or an almost look like a rounded rim. It could have even been a mid-range, but that's not flying. I mean, a putter, but I don't think that's flying like a putter. I'm pretty sure that's a rock for Brinster.
A rocket? That thing's way down the fairway.
That was a great shot.
Simon going to trick shot land.
Not
It gets
quite
out of
vertical enough. That's going to cut. Oh, and that's still rolling. Need to stop that.
So it looks like he does not have the sidearm.
Yeah, that's safe to say at this point.
This needs to turn.
Oh, I liked it. You're right, though. Just needed to turn a bit sooner on a good angle, a good pace. Just didn't quite beat that tree at the edge of the right side fairway. And this is the way to play this hole. You take one disc that you like, you throw it Anheuser, and then you throw the same shot straight. I saw a couple birdies on my card where the people that birdied this hole went disc A, back to back.
And those are the two that you...
I can't really put my foot behind the marker because it was so close to the tree. What's the rule with that? Huh?
Yeah, you can put your
I mean,
foot
I can
behind the
technically
tree.
do like this. I'm gonna cramp. I already feel it.
Oh yeah, because it was up.
I was like leaning like this.
You're saying that he can take it behind the tree?
Can I put my foot here or no?
Yes, you
I
can.
don't-
I think if you can get your foot in there, you're kind of high.
Yeah, but like, how
Right.
is it legal without touching my mini?
Figured it out.
That's a level of acrobatics that Simon does not need to be executing right now. You can.
No, last tree. Come on.
Let's hope he's not cramping.
And what a pleasure we have mics on Chris Clemons and Simon Lizotte today, so we can hear a little bit more of the action.
Some good touch from Austin. Another acrobatic move here from Simon.
Make or miss, he can just take a seat after the disc leaves his hand. I mean, that's what an advantage that is. See, have a seat. Take a load off. You just saved a great par.
Yeah, he had to work for that one.
And finally, a putt from range drops for Simon. And this hole was just picked apart by Steve. Was that an ad for disc golf or ultimate frisbee?
Or hunting.
That's so stupid. I'm sorry, everyone. Hole 5, par 3, 305 feet. OB wall on the left, and it comes into play in a hurry. Any tree kick just seems to kick across that wall so often. The play is going to be a very late turn backhand or a forehand with a fairway driver that gets a skip down the hill.
This is another one that I feel like you can really just play it straight, and the people who like to try to like shape it down to the basket really find themselves with those kicks that push left out of bounds. So let's see if Brinster throws it straight.
It's scary, and that is going to be OB.
And I believe he was trying to throw it straight. That didn't look like it was
Yeah.
trying to turn, so he made the right decision, but just missed his shot.
Yep. Now, Clemons has the advantage that he can just throw the straight shot and then let it just drip down the hill. And so, advantage to him and any lefty on this one. And that tree and the two behind it, that's what you have in your mind, that you just barely want to beat those, and then you're home free. Oh, my goodness.
And there's that. It looked like Simon got a little bit greedy with trying to turn it around the corner, and then he catches the tree, kicks it straight out of bounds left. This is a drone from Austin. That's a bullet.
An ace run skipping underneath the basket off the wood chips, and that's going to be a 30-something foot comeback putt.
Right at our range.
Yep. Should be a little ticker.
Uh-oh.
And unfortunately, Clemons is going to be in that range at the 45-foot par save.
Simon's having a rough patch here with these walls and these weird lies. But that's this course. I mean, you're going to find that's one of the biggest things about this course is even in the fairway, you're going to find kind of awkward footing and different things. And even the tee pads, we have to mention there was a storm the night before, so the tee pads are a bit slippery. So,
yeah, it certainly becomes a part of the player's psyche going into a shot when the end of the tee pad is a bit slick. And there's a couple different teeing surfaces out here the player has to get accustomed to as Clemons lines up his lengthy par save attempt, and that is a good thing it hit that flagstick. That could have been a long comeback putt for the bogey.
Austin taking a page out of Simon's book.
And if you don't practice, look at that.
I thought he made it
vertical. That was a good effort. And that's just a frustrating thing. Once you get down to your lie, you walk up there and you see what you have left, and you've got to come up with a trick shot from 31 feet. And
yeah, it's just kind of unlucky. I mean, you have all these little baby trees that can stop you. That rock that could stop you. The basket could have stopped him.
Sure.
And he
flew right by it
after the other players all kind of take bogeys, and then he doesn't get rewarded.
It's just a story that you see so many people. It plays out on every card.
Right.
It really does. Hole 6, par 3, 345 foot. It's just a soft hyzer with a mid-range down the hill that just so ever so gently stands up. You can maybe even throw a putter. I mean, I feel like the downhill nature of this slope, the putter gets there really just as well as a mid-range. The common mistake is trying to throw it. Maybe it goes too straight, hitting those back edge trees.
I'd be surprised if at least I think Brinster's going to be throwing putter. I think Simon, this is definitely a putter right at our range. You guys are going to get annoyed of me saying that.
I already am.
I'll stop saying it.
No, it's worth mentioning for sure. It's definitely a big part of this course. This is looking really good. Just has to beat the one in the middle, and I think
skip in. Oh.
Needs to slow down now, and that is where so many shots funnel to, right in that back edge, 33 feet. Go ahead and say it.
You said it.
But left side of the pin down there at the bottom of the hill is just a very common place.
This looks beautiful.
And what I like about this, if it misses the tree, which it doesn't, that spin allows the disc to just settle as opposed to the hyzer spin that the other three players have coming into the screen. Just takes them away. And this is going to be probably...
That tree
is so annoying.
Yeah, wow. Those were really good
because you can't see it from the tee. And so whenever you throw this tee, you always just kind of turn your head sideways and listen for it. And it just hits so many people's tee shot.
This game was one day gonna just break me apart. Like,
I can't agree with him more. Myself as well.
Yeah, sure.
Not break Simon apart. Sorry, Simon.
Your game isn't going to break Simon apart, but yeah.
Austin.
Oh. And we've seen Simon make one from outside the circle, but the rest of the cards still yet to find that range as Brinster has made another one.
He is actually very good at that range right there, that one step forward just outside the circle.
Yeah, like Kevin Jones, I think Steve much prefers to be 33 feet as opposed to 30. Just outside the circle is a great range for him. It gets his motion into the putt much better, much more comfortable. Clemons takes a par, Austin par, and Simon with that great run from 70 feet. He's going to tap in his par reluctantly, but he doesn't like it. But too bad, Simon. Hole 7, par 4, 560 feet. No out of bounds in this hole, but there are two distinct fairways. There's the one that you're going to see most players go, which is this one right here, and then there's the turnover forehand or the turnover lefty backhand line down the inside. Either way, the goal is to get somewhere around here, which is an amazing tee shot. Up the hill, kind of feels like you're just going through a walk in the woods in New England on this hole. It doesn't feel so much like a disc golf hole as it does just like you bringing your dogs to the park.
Yeah, there's not really a specific shot that you can just patent on this hole where you're like, I'm going to land here if I throw this shot. It's always different. This looks great,
yeah,
but
this looks so good.
It's all about the ground action. He doesn't get it, and then it's, roll the dice to see if he has that angle into the green.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a trick shot from that landing.
This is a pipe show.
Yeah, that short tee box indicates.
If there's a tee box there, there's probably a way to
There's
get
a
to
way
that.
to get there. Exactly what I was trying to get to. Thank you. So it's a good result for Hannum. And Clemons going, I believe he's trying to do that inside line. I'm surprised that he's not lining up. I mean, he's got a great forehand, but that backhand anhyzer for a lefty, you can really bite off a lot of distance with a good tee shot.
Just needs to go. See, and you just don't know whether Chris and Simon were actually trying to do that. Because that's an easy mistake. Even I actually peered that left side, and I was definitely trying to go straight. So,
Did you tell the group?
I'm calling them out right now.
Oh, great shot.
It's nice over there. It really shapes well for just a stock hyzer up to the,
you still
unless
have
you're between these two, but it shapes well for that stock hyzer. He has a very makeable shot right here. Oh, boy.
And really fortunate to go forward as far as it did. You didn't tell us. Did you tell the group that you missed your line, or did you just walk off the tee?
No, they all said, nice shot. And I was like, thanks, man.
Goodness.
You have no idea how bad I am.
Just
it's my secret.
a symphony of things going on inside your head. Like,
This
Steve. So good.
Oh, no.
Now Austin's.
And that's a product of just having not the best footing, I think. Having that run up the hill, probably, a bit uncomfortable, and then you just sometimes yank them or early release them.
And that's good work to get to a short par putt. Having a long jump putt on a course like this is such a huge weapon because you have so many shots like this.
What do you do if just nothing goes your way ever?
Congratulations, by the way. And on that note, congratulations to Simon for his engagement this past week. That went his way.
That definitely went his way.
And that's a good thing for Austin to save the par after that. Just perfect tee shot. Unfortunate to not be able to get up for a closer look for the birdie.
And Brinster is scratching and clawing on this
No
course.
pars, and he's 1 under through 7 holes.
That's what I think is so fascinating about this course is you can have a round where you're playing great and you shoot 4 under. You can have a bad round and shoot 8 under. Or you could just have one of those middle rounds. You're never going to have the same round here, it seems like.
Yeah,
You're
if you could shoot a bad 8 under, I don't want to shoot a good round ever again. Because 8 under on this course is great. But I want it to be bad. That'd be great for me.
Did you shoot a good round today?
I shot a bad 5 under.
See?
I don't know how it's possible, but you're right. It's a great point. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, you come off this course feeling so different every time you play it. It is a fun one. It's a tough one. Hole 8, par 4, 620 feet. It just plays like it's 830 feet, but I actually had a little tiny gap all the way up to the pin. I did use my little rangefinder today, and it was 620 feet. And I was so annoyed because I was like, this hole plays so much farther, but it just goes uphill so the whole way. The landing zones are tough. You want to be on the left side off the tee. Gives you the player the best chance to get up to the pin into.
And we have a good old-fashioned shootout at 1 under, 1 under, 1 under, and even.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and look at the rounds. They're all so different. If that doesn't tell the story about how this course can play so many different stories, I don't know what else would. And an interesting line. Austin kind of getting away with
redirect.
An incredible result off of a very late release tee shot. Shrugs that one off. He knows he got away with that.
This shapes really well for this kind of angle that he's going to throw this on. Let's see if he can turn it over just a slight bit, and he does. That's gone.
Yeah.
It needs to sit.
That's okay. It'd be tough for the lefty in that situation. You want to be a righty forehand player from where that landed.
Yeah, and you beat the first gap, so you're happy. You're going to take par most likely.
Yeah.
This is a bullet.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's the one by, oh my goodness, out driving the short tee. That is an, yeah, that's incredible.
Let's go, dude. Birdie train now.
Let's see it.
Bet. No, I'm just kidding.
God, don't get into that.
Oh, yeah.
Austin getting full flight, which is great, and the par is going to be pretty easy from there. Actually, he's got a long look for the birdie. Oh, man. You're kind of rolling the dice when you throw a roller on this ground. There's just, it's not flat. There's just roots and sticks and rocks and everything you can imagine that's bad for rollers.
Including the dice.
There's dice in the fairway.
Yeah, rolling dice. You can't roll the dice any worse than that.
God. You make me want to strangle you and hug you at the same time. This is... I was about to say home free. Oh, gosh, that's such a tough break. That was such a good second throw. Now, where is he, Paul?
Putting from for birdie. Outside the circle.
Outside the circle. Yeah, you got it.
This is soft.
And like you said, just a par for Clemons. Third hardest hole in the course, 4.22 average.
Simon can save the group here.
And just
roll.
And just like that, I mean, we saw a roller tee shot that was way off course. A couple of okay tee shots and a perfect tee shot, and the result's going to be par, 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 par. Only 14 players on the day were able to get the birdie. That's just 16% of the field. We've got an 89-player field today in this competition. Under the strict rules in Vermont, just to make sure that everyone is doing their due diligence. There's a lot of quarantine action going on here, maybe more so than any other event we've played so far this year. We head to the final hole of the front nine, par 3, 375 feet, straight downhill the whole way. Very tight. Any early kick spells disaster, but once you get up to this hill, that's when the slope of the green really becomes an issue. And putting the brakes on the disc is such a tough thing to do at this distance. This, I believe, is Steve's Sentinel.
Wow, that looks great if it just misses that fork tree on the left, and it does, but it doesn't get the skip. This hole's so specific. You have to throw it directly straight, which makes you kind of want to juice it to make sure you hit the gap. But then, if you do that and you don't have the height right, you're going way past the basket.
Yep.
And if you pull it with the juice, then you kick left or right. I mean, it is just, it's playing as a second most difficult hole on the course.
And look at Austin Hannum with that beauty of a drive. What kind of juice are we talking about here? Are we talking...
Well, if he didn't hit that tree, he was going way past.
You can see a little slip there for Chris. He actually teed off from halfway back on the tee. This was one of the slicker tee boxes on the course. I believe you had an issue on this hole earlier in the round as well. Is that correct?
My issue was...
What the heck?
Oh, my goodness.
Why do I keep slipping?
Well, I mean, it's not your fault, man. That is a very slick tee box.
If you do it from the furthest tee side, you were going to throw it, slip, and dodge.
Okay.
Simon's like, thanks, man. Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, thank you.
Austin's like, if you do that, you're going to slip. He's like, oh. Okay.
Was it this hole that you hurt yourself, or did you hurt your hip?
Well, the next hole, actually.
It was the next one. Okay, I thought it was this one. It's just not much sun getting through to the tee because there's such a thick canopy above. So when the rain comes down and people step on the tee box and bring the mud onto it, it just kind of gets slick. It's just a hard thing to maintain. And Clemons comes up frustratingly short on his approach. Brinster's got a very scary death putt. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know who was more scared, the basket or the death putt.
I would say the death putt there, and that's a great par for Clemons, who makes one from just outside the circle.
Looked like he had to hug that tree as well.
Yeah, that was super tight. All smiles there for Chris as he shoots one under on the front nine.
This would be a great save from where he was.
And that's going to bring Simon over par on this front. And that'll take Austin to 2 under.
Bogey free.
And he's the only player to do that here on this front nine. So many places where danger could creep in, and Austin's just kind of playing his normal game, where he just has a very casual style to his play, and it's worked out for him, and he's had a great career with that style.
Yeah. As
we look at the front nine, and we see James Conrad absolutely shredding this course. No surprise, he's such a great player in the woods. He is at 8 under, and we have a player I've never heard of before, David Brooks Wells, who is also off to a great start. Ty Macbeth and a few others at 5 under, and a couple players at 4 under par. A lot of good action on the front nine. Paul, anything you take away from it?
I mean, just looking at that 8 down and after 9 holes from James Conrad is crazy impressive, especially after watching this coverage. You're seeing how hard this place is playing, and so let's see if this card can bring it back on the back nine, chase him down.
Thank you so much to the Founders Club. We'll catch you guys for the round 1 back nine action in just a moment.